hear about the man that was in the automobile accident? It was awful. And when the police officer came up to him, he was crying and saying, "Oh, my Mercedes. Oh, my poor Mercedes." And the guy said, "Sir, this is a major accident. Your arm is severed." And he looked down and he said, "Oh, my Rolex. Oh, my poor Rolex." We are so connected to our stuff. God lets us keep 90% of it, but it's His. And it is to be used. My mentor, Fred Smith, got one of those letters from a ministry that said that if he sent a gift, God would bless Fred financially. Fred wrote a letter back to the ministry and said, "You send me money and you get the blessing financially." Money is to be used. That's why God gave it for us. It's not to be admired and lifted up. It's to be used. It's to be used for God's glory. It's to be used for God's people. It's to be used for you. Paganini, in his will, and this is in fact what happened, willed his violin to the city of Genoa with the stipulation that it never be played. And so they got this beautiful violin that was created to glorify God, hanging in a museum so people can look at it. If you've got it, it's His. Use it for His glory. If you've got it, it's His. Rejoice in it. If you've got it, it's His. Run to Him. And then use some of it for yourself. That pleases Him too. And then there's another side road I want you to see before we get into the text, and that is this: inordinate zeal for anything other than God is quite dangerous. Look at the 10th verse. For the love of money is by this way, I'm using the English Standard Version. This is a literal translation of that verse, no matter how often you have repeated it from the King James Version. For the love of money is a root of all kinds of evils. Romans 14:14 says this, that I am convinced that nothing is unclean in itself, but it is unclean to those who think that it is unclean. If that's true, let me give you a principle. There's a connection between your heart and your mind. And when your heart is screwed up, your mind gets screwed up too. You can substitute anything in this text if you want to. The inordinate love of sex is the root or a root of all kinds of evils. The inordinate love of religion is a root of all kinds of evils. The inordinate love of power is a root of all kinds of evils. I don't have time to go down those side roads, but you can substitute your own addiction there if you like.